What's up, everyone? It's Wacko. Welcome you to Season 6 of CLDL. I am again in the Master Division, as last time I actually made it to playoffs. I forgot what seed I got. I think I got like maybe 5th to 6th seed. I don't know. I don't remember, but either way, I'm not going to drop for making playoffs. So, this season we're back after doing the Cucumber Cup. And making it, I think I made it all the way to top 8 in the Cucumber Cup as well. And it was a really close game between me and Helix, the last battle that I played. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this season. I decided to change things up a little bit for my draft recap instead of just using the prep doc. I got a little PowerPoint ready. And yeah, so I'm Wacko, coach of the Chilling Reception. And we're doing a Scarlet and Violet Nat Dex singles thing with Terra. Megas were allowed. Terra. We're allowed to have 3 Terra captains up to 20 points total, but it's like mid to like lowish tier Terras. So you'll see who my Terra captains are, and you'll kind of get like the gist of like what it is, kind of. So starting things off, I got, I believe, 8th pick out of 14. I'm kind of surprised they haven't expanded to 16 player divs yet instead of 14, because they have 5 divisions. Like, if they wanted to add more people, they could have probably added more people. But I'm not going to complain because our draft ended up going like extremely slow. It started on Sunday, just ended today on Friday. Video is going to be up probably on Saturday, like very early Saturday morning. So I guess I could like time it to be done by Saturday morning, but I kind of need to go to bed soon so I can get up and play my MPBA game tomorrow. However, with 8th pick, I ended up picking up Latios. Yeah, I'm not actually in like presentation mode, so you can probably see my mouse. However, I picked up Latios. Dragon Psychic typing is really nice. Really nice speed tier, really nice special attack. I just used it in SDS like I think season 8. So it's been like a few months since I used it, and I did say Latios was definitely a mon. Like, I'm gonna use it again for sure. It was just very reliable every week. I think I brought Latios, which is saying a lot for me and my high tier Pokemon. Like, I don't really like using my high tier Pokemon that much. Even like Dragapult kind of struggled to bring to every game, but Latios is like, there's something Latios can do in every game, I feel, and its stats kind of reflect that. It's pretty bulky, it's pretty fast, pretty strong, can do a lot on both. Like, you could even run like Dragon Dance. It's pretty nice. So yeah, and it got access to Flip Turn. Luster Purge got buffed. So yeah, Latios got some huge buffs in this gen. Since I've used it in Gen 8, I didn't really like it that much in Gen 8 either. So yeah, good mon. It holds up pretty well for the power creep that has been brought onto it. And yeah, so our next pick is gonna be Iron Treads. Oh, and our Latios nickname is gonna be Lotta Toast. Not all of my nicknames are going to be this cringe, but I definitely wanted to start with Latios for being cringe. So yeah, meet Lotta Toast. He's going to be a shiny. Most of my mons are, I think, shiny, because I think most of my team just has good shinies. So anyways, our next pick is going to be Iron Treads, who's going to be nicknamed I'm Tired. We got a Ground Steel type. Just like a reliable mon again. Like, it's really fast with 106 base speed, which is outspeeding like the base 100, base 105s that a lot of teams end up having. Quark Drive speed makes it faster than like a lot of Scarfers, like Crocodile and stuff, like, you know, like the typical Scarfers. It's really bulky with the base 90 HP, base 120 defense, and base 70 special defense, which is pretty good for like Assault Vest. Gets a lot of coverage moves like Ice Spinner. Ground Steel's really good coverage in general. It gets a Volt Switch to pivot around. And of course, outside of Assault Vest, it can get up rocks. It can, it can Rapid Spin as well, even with Assault Vest. But yeah, decided to just pick up Iron Treads. This is 15 points, and honestly, Iron Treads has been really reliable every time I draft it. I feel like Treads gets me to playoffs, no problem. I think I actually used it last season in CLDL. I think it might have been the last time I used Treads. So it's been maybe like a little bit, but still very reliable mon. I love using Iron Treads. I don't really like bringing it to games all that much, but usually when I end up like figuring out what set to bring, I never have an issue like actually like using it, even if it's just kind of used as a sack. Like it's, I don't know, it's just reliable. And yeah, so we got our dragon and our steel. Our fairy's gonna come up later. However, I picked up Weavile. I got some intel on someone named Anna Bunny or Unny Bunny who is drafting Mono Dragon, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna draft Weavile, who I nicknamed Qian Pao, with the Pows, like, I don't know, like Pow block from Mario or whatever. I don't know, I just thought it was a really funny play, especially because Qian Pao is actually banned. So I basically have Qian Pao. And I think it's really good. It has a lot of good coverage. You get Sword Stance, Ice Shard, triple Axle, which Qian Pao is too lame to get. It gets knockoff, which Qian Pao is also too lame to get. And like honestly, Weavile is a little bit stronger than Qian Pao in that sense, at least like base move wise. Obviously, Qian Pao is gonna break through your team while burned anyways. So, I mean, yeah. Weavile's like, it's not the bulkiest thing ever, but it can take a hit, I think, honestly. And I have pretty good synergy with like Latios can resist Mach Punch, Treads resist Bullet Punch, and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty good. And Treads also handles like fairies for Latios and Weavile as well. And yeah, as you can tell, like I drafted some pretty fast mons already. Our next pick is also going to be pretty fast. We're going to bring back Bink Boink from SSSDL as well as SDS like 2 years ago. I absolutely love this mon both times I used it. It's got me top seed both times I've used it. So, I mean, like, especially with Treads, I think Treads is another mon where I'm like, it often gets me into like a top seed position or like an undefeated position, or I don't know. I mean, like Treads is just it's gotten me to top seed like I think twice. And Thunderous Therian is no, I don't know what the word is. I'm too tired apparently. It's no exception, I guess is what I wanted to say. I just use it in SSSDL. It did a lot of stuff. I didn't really run like plot or anything, but it was strong enough to be like, oh, I don't need to run special attack investment that often if I want to run like AV. If I need it to take on things like Terra Electro Hisui, Terra Jolteon, which I'm not sure got drafted because I think Terra Jolteon was hella fucking expensive, like 15 points. Like, no one wants to spend 15 points on Terra Jolteon. That's not worth it. It's like a good mon, but it's too weak, I feel. And usually you can kind of, like, Terra Jolteon tears into a type like it doesn't really want to be that type, unless it's Terra Water, and Electric Water is kind of, like, I have a Latios for that. So, yeah. Thunderous is our special breaker. We already have Latios, but having another special breaker is really nice, especially to pair with like Weavile on the physical side. I think they're going to work really well together. And if you guys remember, I got Heat of the Week in SDS for running Electric Train on this thing for Treads, so prepare to maybe see that at some point. Next pick's going to be our first Terramon. We have Flower Bitch the Florg. Our Terra Florg. This thing has very useless abilities, but it is our fairy type. It is our Terra, which, I mean, like, I don't know if I'm going to Terra Fairy with this often, but I have another mon later on that I think I'm honestly probably going to use more as my Terra captain because I think it just gains more from Terra. Florg is a really good mon, and what it usually gets from Terra is a coverage move, but it kind of has to, like, sacrifice its fairy typing for that coverage move. However, like, if it can figure out what Terra, it can use, like, kind of still wall things as well as be able to set up Calm Minds, Terra Blast, and, like, Synthesis up. Then I think it can work pretty well. It gets Defog. I already have a Spinner and Thundy. I have 2 Defoggers already before Florg. But this is a more real Defogger, which I kind of needed. Out of all the other fairy types that were available, I think this is the best fit on my team. And yes, I have used Florges like 10 million times in the last 2 months. Not 10 million. I mean, I use it in SDS and SSSDL, which SSSDL just ended. Um, I don't know. And I also thought Florg with Terra for 11 points was really valuable. Um, I thought it was a little bit better than 11 points, so I figured I got some value out of it. And yeah, we have another special attacker. I wish it had a good ability, like even if it was like inner focus or something, like at least it does something, you know. Anyways, our next pick is gonna be. Let me just make sure I'm actually still recording. I am still recording. Our next pick is gonna be Ursaluna, which I grabbed. Its nickname is gonna be OU Grizzlies, which is it. OU stands for Oakland University, not overused. Um, the college I graduated from had a mascot, which was the grizzly bear, and I figured I love Ursaluna. Ursaluna is honestly like one of my top 5 mons of all time. Like I just love this thing absolutely. Um, and like its stats, it's so min max. It's I don't know. It's just such a fun mon to use. It can just click buttons every time it comes in. I think I got some decent pivots to go into it. Like Latios might force in some fairies or like some steel types, and then I could just turn it into Ursaluna and just like click Facade or Earthquake or Headlong Rush, you know? And like if Latios forces a switch, then I get Ursaluna in for free and I just get my Flame Orb off for free. If I want to run Flame Orb, which is usually the best set for it. I mean, like sometimes it has that bulletproof set. There might be a week where I might even run like Unnerve for, I don't know, something that wants to run like Shuka Berry, but regardless, I think Ursaluna is a really good pick. It was 16 points, which honestly is expensive for what most leagues put Ursaluna at, but I think Ursaluna is worth 16 points, and it's proven time and time again that it's worth that much. And I think it's pretty good for being my 6th pick as well. Blood Moon is also on the board, but I figured I also had enough special attackers, so I didn't really need Blood Moon on this team particularly, and yeah, I think I just wanted that physical breaker. Because Weavile, like, it can break, but if Weavile's a breaker, then it's probably going to die after, like, doing 80% of something, and I feel like Ursaluna is just a little bit better at doing stuff for Weavile and getting Weavile set up. Next pick, speaking of, I've used this 10 million times, Thundy T, Florg, and Quillfish all on the same team again. Quillfish, so the reason I actually picked up Quillfish was because it did so much in my game in SDS this week, which probably isn't on YouTube yet, so I'm not going to spoil what happened, but yeah, Quillfish just did so much fucking crap. And I'm like, you know what? Quillfish, you kind of earn yourself a spot on the team again. Even though it kind of lost me my game versus Y-Stream a few days ago. That was because he ran Clear Amulet, which also means like people are running Clear Amulet for Intimidate Quillfish, my 7-point Pokemon. And people are like, oh, Quillfish is a good mon that can come to like 2 or 3 games a season, has really good matchups for like 2 to 3 games. I don't know. I use Quillfish like 7 times each in both SDS and triple SDL, so I feel like for a 7-point mon, I got a lot of value out of it. And I'm hoping to get that value out of it again. I'm really comfortable using Quillfish at this point. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's just a good mon. Really good pivot as well. Our next one's going to be Squishy Head, the Decidueye Hisui. Oh, I totally fucked up its sprite. It is not a Jirachi. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to fix that later. Because this is kind of all I did. You can watch me edit in time. There you go. It was totally not a Jirachi. I think it was a Jirachi before because the template I'm using just had a Jirachi there. So yeah, we got this Decidueye Hisui, which is I think my favorite of the 2 forms. I'm using regular Decidueye right now in low tier. However, Squishy Head was my kill leader for quite a while. Back in, I did a Palliadex team in CBL, which is Sacred Ashes League. And this thing was my MVP for the first, 7 weeks. And then I kind of just stopped bringing it to games, and it kind of fell behind a little bit in, like, stats. But I think overall, like, Grass Fighting is a good typing. It resists ground and rock, which is really nice. Especially because my water type is weak to ground. Like, having a bulky grass fighting type to resist both is just nice. Um, and as well as my main ground type is also weak to ground. My other one does not want to take too many hits because I think um, I don't know. Ursaluna is just a mon. Like the way I use it, I don't really like to take hits with it before doing something. Like if I can keep Ursaluna healthy, it'll get more kills later on. Whereas I think other people use it to switch in, kill something, and then it dies. But Decidueye takes that pressure off of a lot of my mons. It also gets Defog, which takes pressure off of my other removers, which don't really even want to run removal. Shreds is a good spinner, but like Florg, Thundy, Latios do not want to click Defog, and we're kind of good. We're gonna see that kind of problem with my later picks, but this is kind of the best I could do, and I like Squishy Head. I could have done like Terra Chestnut, but I think Decidueye Hisui, as much as I love Chestnut, I think Decidueye Hisui just does things better than Chestnut could ask for. And yeah, with that said, our next pick is going to be Terra Regirock, which I nicknamed Tough Guy. This thing is fucking insane at stats. 200 defense is insane. I just use Mega Aggron, but like being able to Terrasilize this into whatever I want and hold an item, I think is just so valuable. It doesn't have filter, of course, but I mean, like, its special defense and its HP being higher kind of make up for that kind of thing. So this thing kind of acts like a Mega Aggron in a way. It's a little bit... no, I think it's the same base speed, unless Mega Aggron was... Mega Aggron's 60 or 50? I think Mega Aggron's 50. Its attack set is a little bit lower than Mega Aggron's, but if I'm going to use, like, Terra Fighting Body Press, then I'm not really using my attack set anyways, and it gets some strong moves like Earthquake and like Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Rock Tomb, or whatever I want to use with Regirock. I kind of want to look into its move pool, honestly. And yeah, and it can hold an item, so I can run Rock Polish plus like Weakness Policy some weeks. I don't know, I think Regirock can do a lot. It was definitely on my to-do list for drafting another like Terra Rock type. I found a lot of rock types to be really good Terra choices. Like Diancie, Aurorus were really good choices. I think Regirock is the next one in line to have potential. I kind of considered like Rhyperior, but I already drafted Ursaluna, and I felt like Rhyperior is a little bit too slow. Like that jump from base 40 to base 50 is like a huge difference for me in terms of like running Rock Polish. So yeah. With that said, that's our second Terra Captain. It's just Florg and Regirock, and I think they do different things really well as Terras. Like Florg they can both be defensive and offensive, and I love the fact that they can do that. Even my other defensive pieces can be both defensive and offensive, and I love that about my draft style. Yeah. Our next pick is going to be Turtonator, which I nicknamed Belly Rubs, because, if you look at its belly, there's a big hole in it. I believe if you touch it, Turt kind of like explodes. So I named it Belly Rubs because it's a little bit cursed. I'm not sure if the sprite in the corner is its Scarlet and Violet sprite like the last ones have been, because it looks a little bit off. It might be its anime art, not gonna lie, but I couldn't find the sprite. Also, the home sprite looks a little bit blurry for some reason. However, this mon I just kind of added at the end as my 3-point fire type. I could have added Flareon, but I also was like, my removal's already kind of fake. So even though this is also a fake removal, I might as well add a spinner. And even with that, like, this thing can run like Shell Smash. It can't get crit, so it can run like Assault Vest sets maybe. I mean, it's probably gonna be running Boots, like the game I bring it to, or like maybe I'll bring it to more than one game. But Jeg likes this thing a lot. I can ask Jeg how to use it. I'm sure he's tried running like Shell Smash on it, and like it's a little bit slow, but I have kind of calced it to be faster than like a lot of things at +2. I believe this thing can outspeed like Tapu Koko at +2. I don't know if I'm right about that. I was gonna check, but I don't really feel like opening up the damage calc right now. But I think it can go pretty fast at +2, and not a lot of teams have fast mons on them right now. So if I want to run Shell Smash 1 week, prepare to see Shell Smash Turt. And maybe it'll do something. Base 91 special attack is a little lackluster, but I think with +2 it can do a lot. And I think Fire Dragon's really good offensive typing. And with that said, we have 1 point left. So what did I grab? I grabbed Big Eye. I grabbed Big Illumise. This thing has really shitty stats. I can't believe its best stat is 85 in SpDef and speed. However, its main point to being on this team is just being an annoying prankster mon, and every time I've had a prep for Illumise, I'm like, damn, if this thing comes, like, I'm kind of fucked. Because, like, this thing clicking Thunder Wave, Encore, U-turn all over everything, like, is just so annoying. And even then, like, it's a backup defogger if I want to use it that way, so I can do that. It's a good ground resist, even though it's not very defensive, but, like, I've seen this thing take on Lander's Therian, like, no problem. I think it gets stuff like Charm as well. And I have a lot of people backing me up on Illumise. Jaden loves this mon. Wisestream just used this mon. He didn't bring it to me in our semifinals game, but he could have done it. He brought Togetic instead, but I mean, this mon's pretty good. Even if I want to run like offensive, I feel like Specs Tinted Lens could maybe do something. I mean, it is a pure bug type, and I've already didn't really like using like low kicks that much, but I don't know. Maybe it can do something. It has the option to. I don't know. And just being a good prankster mon, I'm actually curious if this thing gets double screens. I'm gonna change the view for a second. So you can see this is my full team. So you can see my speed tiers for now. I'm very curious if this thing gets like screens. It gets light screen. Does it get reflect? It doesn't get reflect. It gets light screen, which, I mean, for a team with Terra Regirock, that could be pretty good. And yeah, I think I've yapped a little bit too long. I guess my last point, I'm going to go on this end screen really quick. I kind of just put all the team together. I'm going to use all these shinies. The ones that aren't shiny, I'm probably not going to use. I might use, like, shiny Ursaluna, but I don't plan on using, like, Treads, Illumise, or anything. Turt, I probably should use as, like, a regular mon, but it kind of matches the Decidueye as well, if I use regular Turt. But I like the shiny Turt, and I think I have one, actually, like, in-game. From Sword Shield. Anyways, yeah, this is the team. I didn't really make things like up to size, and I don't know, it doesn't really look like a good image or anything, but I mean, they look like a family kind of. So that's all I can ask for. And yeah, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys for week 1 of CLDL. Thanks for watching.